Every hunter dreams of a deer that feels larger than life. For Dave Stuckey, that deer was called Megalodon. And his story started back in 2016 with just a single trail cam photo. Nothing special at first glance, but no one knew the legend this buck would become. That year, Megalodon slipped under the radar. Dave's focus was locked on a familiar 8-point he knew all too well.
Alright, hey, he's hopped the fence and he's working his way to the doe are coming right down the woodlot. So we're gonna go ahead and get set and get ready and see what happens. I'm not sure he's gonna make it all this way. It's about 250 yards from where he's gotta come now, but we're gonna go ahead and get ready. Where's he at, Davey? He's right up against the woodlot. You can't really see him, but the doe's coming this way, so he's gotta come this way, I'd imagine. I'm gonna sit down when he gets up here, alright? Okay. Oh, hey, here he comes around the bend. Here he comes, buddy. Oh, get your bow. He's coming quick. Right. Far back. Well, me and Trevor's had an encounter with this deer several times. I'm so cold and shaking and buck fever and everything. I just couldn't. We shot him in the creek. He's been coming all the way down here. We've been watching him for an hour and a half, chasing this doe around. I guess we're just going to see what it looks like on the camera. Far back and high. Did it? Oh man, that ain't good. Used the Super Freak. I'm pretty sure it's a complete pass-through though. It was. So hopefully we'll just have to give him a lot of time. And hopefully we can find this deer. That's the third time that deer's been shot. Got a lot of footage of that deer. So stick around. We'll see what happens. All right, here we are with the long story and a lot of history with the old 8. This deer here was here 3 years ago. We saw him coming from the neighboring farm after I harvested my deer, and Trevor and I rushed over and put a muddy blind up right in the fence line, and he came out, he read the script, and Trevor put a shot on him and it hit him in no man's land. The deer survived. So the following year, which was last year, the deer came down through here and I stuck him in the spine and he lived. We fast forward to this year and he showed up on Veterans Day on the cameras, and so we came in here and we started hunting him, and we saw him this morning about 400 yards away chasing does in the neighbor's farm. They hopped the fence, came right down the wood line, and he presented me a 30-yard shot in the creek.
In 2017, Megalodon blew up. Trail cam photos were few and far between, but he had caught Davey's attention. He was hoping that the following season, Megalodon would begin to frequent on one of his 3 permission spots. A shed antler was very possible the missing piece to the puzzle. In July of 2018, Davey got his first trail cam photos of Megalodon. Davey knew at that moment this was a deer of a lifetime. Davey got exactly what he wished for. Megalodon was a frequent flyer during the whole summer, and Davey's confidence started to grow as summer was starting to wind down. However, As soon as Megalodon stripped his velvet, things started to change. Davey continued to monitor cameras and put boots on the ground and found huge buck sign that can only be made by a deer like Megalodon.
Alright guys, it is October 11th. Cold front finally just came through. I've seen my target buck 3 times ever since opening on the 29th of September. I changed spots down here to a choke point. I got him on camera coming through here 1 time. I've only had a camera down here for a week. So let's hopefully he'll slip up and come through here. I'm starting to see a lot of rubs around here. I just spoke to the neighbor and he said he had no pictures of him on his farm over here to the right of me. And he had no pictures of him across the road where he has been known to frequent every now and then. But let's just stick around and we'll see what happens.
Day after day, Davey sat in an observation stand waiting to make the right move. Knowing the stand he was in wasn't the spot to kill Megalodon, Davey was taking notes of where he needed to make his move. For 23 days in a row, he watched Megalodon closely until he decided to move in. As October was coming to an end, Davey noticed that Megalodon started to frequently use a grassy edge. Davey made a move in hope of picking him off. When he got to the location Megalodon was using, Davey found a heavy trail, giant rubs, and massive scrapes. Davey hung up a stand and dumped a bag of feed in hopes that Megalodon would stop in front of him and present a shot. And that is exactly what happens next. Hey guys, I want to take this moment to interrupt the video just briefly, but it's to tell you the greatest news the world has ever heard. As humans, we were born with a sickness and disease called sin, and sin leads to death and destruction. However, the best news ever is that we have an advocate in the name of Jesus Christ, who was 100% man, but also 100% God, and he left his throne in glory to take on the sin of the world, and he did just that. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whosoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. And that is a promise that if we love the Lord thy God with all of our heart, all of our soul, and all of our mind, it is our ticket off of earth into that everlasting life. I urge you to have a relationship with Christ today. If you want more information on how to establish that relationship with Jesus, email me. My email is dylgandee@gmail.com. It's my personal email. I will respond. I just want to see you guys in heaven. Back to the video. Davey did not make the best shot on this deer. He saw a window of vitals that he felt comfortable attempting to place an arrow in, and when Megalodon raised his head, buck fever took over and Davey released the arrow. I can only imagine the pure adrenaline of having a 223-inch mega giant standing only 13 yards away. Davey brought in tracking dogs, and the dogs would only lead him to the bed Megalodon got out of before Davey shot. He searched for 2.5 days and ended up finding him only 300 yards from where he shot him.
Oh my God, dude.
Found him.
Oh my God, dude. Woo!
When you walk into Dave's trophy room, you see a wall full of giant deer, and you know that you are in the presence of a man that loves to chase monster bucks. But when you go to the far wall of that trophy room, you get to stand face to face with the infamous Megalodon. It inspires hunters to begin the search. Thank you for watching this episode of The Search. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified when our next video drops. For more frequent content, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. To rock some search merch, go to thesearchoutdoors.com and check out all of our new apparel, t-shirts, hats, and much more.